Alright everyone, welcome back. Today's a very important day. This is Friday, the day that Jesus will be crucified and die. Now before we jump into it, I want us to consider a couple things. Number one, try to track all the different agonies of Jesus, the different things that he goes through. Because it's not only just physical agony he goes through, there's much more, and I want you to try and notice that. And then number two, I want you to try and look at the clear lack of justice in this whole situation. And the second thing I want you to look at is if there's any patterns that you see. For example, you might see a pattern of injustice during the trials. See if you can't find other patterns like that as you read these verses. Okay, so let us begin. First, we see from midnight to 2 a.m., the prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane, and then the arrest of Jesus. So read that account and see Jesus throughout this whole situation. Next, we're going to look at 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. These are the trials before the Jewish authorities. So this would be focusing on the religious aspect of Jesus' trials. First, he's taken to Annas. Annas is one of the high priests. And then after that, he goes to the official high priest, the acting high priest, which is Caiaphas. And then after that scene is the denial of Peter. And then he's taken in front of the entire Sanhedrin. And look at that. Again, we're looking for the lack of justice during this trial. And also, how do you account for Jesus staying quiet during the whole time? After these trials, we see the suicide of Judas. And then from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., we see the trials in front of the Roman authorities. So this would have been the civil trials. First, he's taken to Pilate. Then he's taken to Herod. And then he's taken back to Pilate. And at the end of that, we see the mockery of the soldiers. I want to stop here and talk about the hearts of these three different men. So we want to look at the heart of Peter during this day. We want to look at the heart of Judas during this day, and then the hearts of the soldiers. It's really interesting to compare the three of them and compare their hearts as they're looking upon Jesus. And then finally we get to the crucifixion and death. This happens between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And obviously a lot can be said here about how painful and how agonizing this whole event was. If you don't know anything about crucifixion or the different whips and everything that Jesus had to go through, I really encourage you to do your own study of that and examine how excruciating this must have been. But that probably wasn't the worst part for Jesus. Easily a very difficult part, but the greater agony was probably Jesus, whose whole life was love and compassion. The agony of taking on sin. And for sin and hatred and cruelty and all that terribleness to be seeping into every fiber of Jesus, now that would have been pure agony for him. And then finally, we're going to end today with the burial. So this would have happened before sunset. Anyways, I really appreciate you sticking with us and getting all the way to this very important day. Now, I encourage you to take this study of Christ's death very seriously. Thank you very much. Now enjoy reading your Bible.